Hello guys, welcome to Horror and Monster Collectibles, where today we are going to be taking a look at Mezco's brand new 18-inch Ultimate King Kong of Skull Island figure. And I am very excited about this release. I've been waiting for it for a while and it just came in. So let's unbox it and take a look. Here is a quick shot of Kong in his packaging. There's 3 head sculpts and 4 hands. 2 are fists and 2 clenching hands. He's packaged very well, and they even have a brown shipper box for the art box. So let's go ahead and take him out. Alright guys, and here is Kong out of the packaging. Now, he is listed at 18 inches, but when you stand him fully up, he's 19.5 inches tall to the top of his head. And also, I think that there's just 1,400 of these made, because on my box I have number 7 of 1,400, which I'm assuming is an edition size, although I didn't see one listed from Mezco. But anyway, this guy is huge, and I really don't know a great way to go over his articulation other than doing this and my ugly arms being in the way. But that's just because he's so big. But let's go ahead and take a look. And this is the head sculpt that he comes packaged with, which the paint apps just look phenomenal on. Mezco did a terrific job on this guy. Look at that profile. So the head is right here, the joint. And it's well hidden from the front, although if you turn it around to the back you can see the joint quite clearly. But any kind of frontal view, they did a really good job of hiding it. Now you do have some movement, although if you push it too far it will pop off, but you can still get a pretty decent pose out of him. On up and down movement we have some. It's actually a little bit loose, a little bit looser than I would like it to be, but it's still very good. And we will go ahead and go over the additional head sculpts here after we go over the body. Speaking of the body, let's take a good look at the detailing on here. And again, just really well done throughout here. And I'll set them up later, and I'll put them in like a couple poses for you guys so you can see a full 360 view of the body. But they have a lot of deep sculpting here, and it does a great job on mimicking hair. Looking at the shoulder joint, go through the movement that we have. You can raise up to about almost a 90-degree angle, and we have full rotation. There's only 10 points of articulation on here, by the way. So we have the head, the shoulders, the wrists, the hips, the midsection, and the feet. So there's no elbow or knee joints. There is a pivot and rotation for the wrist. And the center section, you can get full rotation out of it, and nice pivot too. Really good pivot. But I feel like, let me move the arm out of the way. And I know this is a clumsy review, guys, but like there's not like a good way of working this guy over because he's so freaking big. But the midsection, we'll take a look at it like this. So that's full back and full front. So a lot of movement here you can get out of that. And again, they do a good job on hiding the seam even when he's at extreme angles like that. My one critique is that this joint too feels a little bit on the loose side, although it holds position well. Come over to the hip. And that's about all I can spread his legs out. But we do have a decent amount of articulation front and back. The feet do have rotation, and they have some pivot, but not a whole lot. And that's about all to go over on his body. Again, not a whole lot, but he looks so freaking badass. I will move my ugly self out of the camera frame for you guys, especially if you've recently eaten. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the additional head sculpts, which the eyes are just, they do such a good job on these figures. And I don't have a good King Kong figure for my collection. So I figured I would pop on this because he looked badass, and I hoped that he would come out as good as the prototype. And I feel like he really has. If you just look at all the paint detail on here, it's very, very well done. Here's a look at the back of the head. And it's an easy joint that it just pops into, which we'll take a look at in a second. But Mezco has done a great job here. We'll take a look at the third head sculpt with the closed mouth. Mezco is just killing it with their releases. They really are. They're doing such an outstanding job. This looks every bit as good as the prototype. Again, you can see how large it is with that's my fist, so he's big. And we'll look at the grasping hands. They have some nice cuts on the hands. And the sculpt work and detailing is just phenomenal. I know I've said that a couple times already, but it bears mentioning multiple times because I really, really like this guy. We'll take a look at the other hand. If you love King Kong, or even just Skull Island or whatever, like, you'll be happy with this guy. He will look kick-ass in your collection. Even if you're just a monster fan, he will look badass in your collection. So we will bring him up a little bit so I can show you swapping out the head. And you just pop it off like that. There is the joint. I think that's my favorite one, but I don't know. That or the open mouth. We'll look at the closed mouth. We'll pop that on him. And then we will look at the open mouth. And he's badass. While we're here, we'll go ahead and swap out hands for you. And again, it's the same fitting that they use, and it actually fits on very nice. It's easy to apply yet it holds position and stays on the wrist well. You can do a combination of the two. Obviously, you can have a closed fist and a grasping hand. We'll go ahead and swap out both. And that is very easy to do. All right, guys, so that's about all there is to go over on King Kong here. I think that Mezco did a terrific job on him. He is a large and imposing action figure, and he will look great on anybody's shelf that loves monsters or King Kong. And he is a little bit on the pricey side, especially if you compare directly to NECA's 18-inch quarter scale figures. He's almost twice as much as that, but I think that they did a great job with the sculpting and paint apps, which kind of makes up for the price a bit. And also, he is large, even though he is, 18-inch or so. I mean, really, like, I measured him out to 19 and a half, but still, he is very large and heavy compared to a NECA quarter scale figure. So anyway, feel free to leave any questions or comments that you have on him, and I'll be happy to answer them. And feel free to like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications for new videos. And what I'll do is I will leave you with some 360 shots of just a couple different poses to give you guys ideas on how you might have him set up in your collection. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.